Yo, yo. What's up, what's up, what's up? It's your boy Commander Ron, back with another video. Welcome to episode 9 of Small Talk. So, today we'll be talking about our Commander's record and see if we can exceed 10 wins or not. So, in my opinion, I believe we will. I think we will. I think we're being slept on this year. With all the free agent additions we have, with the new coaching staff, with this new regime, Dan Quinn getting his mind right in this season, I think we'll have a chance to get to at least 10 wins. But for me, I'm saying 11-6. If the defense can gel, if the offense can click like the way I think it can click, if we put all the things together that we know can happen, I believe this team has a chance to wreak some havoc in 2026. And it depends on if Jaden Daniels is healthy or not. He is the engine that drives us. If the engine isn't in the car, you can't drive the car. So we need Jaden to stay healthy. We need this defense to get after it. We need this defense to force turnovers. We need it this year. Last year we were pretty much dead last in defense. Offense, we were ranked 23rd. That's not going to cut it. And last year, Cliff Kingsbury refused to adjust to the adjustment that defenses were giving him. Last year in that Vikings game, he had zero answers. And Jaden was like, dude, are you kidding me? See, whenever you come up to the line of scrimmage and you see a defense in a certain formation, you need to have answers to the test. You need to have 2 or 3 plays ready to go at the line of scrimmage, not just one. You can't just improvise. You can't just do things on your own. You got to have a plan to what you're doing. There was no plan in the Vikings game. Cliff just said, "Hey, we just going to do whatever and not score." I like that. That's not going to cut it in this league. That's not going to cut it. You have to be able to sustain drives. You have to be able to manipulate the defense. You have to be able to motion guys in and out wherever and where they're going. You have to be able to adjust. You need to adjust to the adjustment because at the end of the day, your defense is going to adjust. It has to adjust to what the offense is doing. The offense has to adjust to what the defense is doing. So whenever you're at halftime or off season, you need to be putting in plays to give your quarterback answers to the test and protecting him. They say he's in look A. Okay, let's switch to look B. Okay, he's in look C. Okay, we'll switch to look B. We'll continue to adjust with the adjustment. We're not just going to keep things looking the same. We're not just going to keep things looking different. We're going to make things that are different look the same and the same things look different, as David Blau pointed out this offseason, which is why Dan Quinn made that hire, because we're going to a more professional, pro style offense and we're going to confuse defenses with our looks. That is the key to winning games. Manipulating the defense, taking advantage of it, and executing. That is what's going to allow us to win 10 plus games. It's that simple. Executing, having a plan, and executing that plan. Period. You need answers to every test the offense or defense is going to give you. So let's look at these Commanders record here really quickly. Or Commanders schedule here really quickly. So let's go share my screen. Boom. All right. So here we have the Washington Commanders schedule. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? So here we have Washington's schedule. So preseason week 1. I'm not looking for Jaden to play this game. I'm looking for Ethan Kaliak Manis and Sam Hartman to play week one versus the Dolphins. What I'm looking for is, can your young guys produce? Can your young guys say, hey, I'm ready to take a spot on this roster? I'm ready to produce. I'm ready to show that I can play in this league. I want to do this so that I can have a spot on this 53-man roster or this 90-man roster and down to 53 when the time comes. That's all I'm looking for week one in preseason. Week two, I'm looking for Jaden to start. I'm looking for them to run the ball more than pass the ball. I'm looking for rookies to make plays once again. I'm looking so who is going to be on this practice squad? Who is going to be depth for this offense or defense? Look for young guys to make plays and have a spot in this roster or the practice squad, because this is going to be a tough year for a lot of players in Washington. Because OTAs, all you've heard was, "Hey, this guy, oh yeah, he's been making plays, he's been doing this, he's been doing it." Yep. Well, this is only preseason, so we have two Friday night and one Saturday, so you know how that goes. So yeah, preseason. Man said, "Wait, Friday games?" But versus Detroit, I think you're gonna see Jay for at least a quarter, maybe, and then see what the offense does with him. Then you're gonna sub in your young guys, so you can fight for that second or third spot on the roster. So, and then obviously versus the Ravens, you're not gonna have any starters playing. I believe Ethan Cadillac Manis will play in all three games. And I believe he's going to win the quarterback three spot over Sam Hartman, who was atrocious last year. And I think you're going to see guys like Jerome Ford play in this game, guys that are barely going to make the roster or not. So we shall see. Now, regular season, week one versus Philadelphia. This one, I'm going to say, is going to be a tough game, tough road environment in Philly, but we always tend to play well in Philly. So if we can force Jalen Hurts out of his spots, get pressure on Jalen Hurts, make him beat you, stop the running game with Saquon Barkley, you're gonna have a chance to win this game. You need at least two or three turnovers to win this game, and you're probably gonna need to score 28 points to win. So I'm looking for Jaden to have a nice game. I'm looking for Terry to start his stride early and not fall off this season. We know how Terry is, son Jaden is. 2024, they had a rough start to the season, but then week three, you saw them go at it. They went off versus that Monday night game. They went off versus the Bengals in that Monday night game. It may be a tough schedule, but I'm not worried about it. It's just really, even I don't think they're too strong now because they have lost a lot of pieces. You got AJ Brown's gone now. You have everybody's going to key on Saquon Barkley, but once again, this is still going to be a tough environment to play. But we always tend to do well versus Philly in Philly. So either I think we're going to split with them, or we're going to tie with them, or we're going to sweep them. We cannot have have it both ways. So I'm looking to go into Philly week one. If we execute the game plan that Durante Jones has and that David Blau has, and that we execute it on the field, I believe we can win. But like I said, we need to get pressure on Hurts. We need to make him beat us. We cannot allow Saquon to go off on us like he did in week 16 last season, or this season in 2024. And in that, what I think that was that Monday night game in 2024, where we pretty much shut Saquon down the first half. And then all of a sudden, we allow him to go off. Jalen Hurts didn't have a good game that game, and we should have won, but we didn't. But that's nor here nor that's neither here nor there. Week 2 versus Dallas. I think we can get that one. It did, but again, if Dallas's defense is improved, then I believe we'll struggle a little bit. But Dak does not do well against a Durante Jones Vikings defense, as we saw last season. Dak Prescott struggled to read the field in that game. I don't even I don't know what his stats were that game, but I heard he did struggle versus that zone defense that we're gonna play now. So if you're gonna be Dak Prescott, again, same thing with Hurts. Get pressure on him, force him to make a decision that he does not want to make. And I think with this year, a lot of passes are going to be picked off because a lot of guys are going to be in the right spots to say, "Oh, you want to throw here? Okay, cool, picked off." And the defensive line we have now, we need to be able to get pressure because you're not going to be able to double team every guy, and you can rotate in and out. We're 5, 6 deep at pass rusher now, so I think we're going to have to tap into our depth to get production as well. So if we want to start off fast, we need to beat either Philly at Philly or we need to beat Dallas in Dallas. Seattle Seahawks are the reigning Super Bowl champions. This one is going to be tough. This one is going to be tough, man. Their defense is a top defense in the league, and their offense is good with Jackson Smith and Jigba. Sam Darnold back at the helm. I don't know. This could be a tough game for us. If we were to lose a game, I could see this game. I could see us losing this game. So I think within these 3 games right now, I think we can get Philly. I think we can get Dallas, but Philly may be tough. I don't think we're going to beat Seattle. Indianapolis over the pond in London. That's going to be another good game, but I believe we can get that out. I believe we can win. So within these first 4 games, we need to at least go 4-2. We need to go 4-2 in these first 4 games. If you start off 2-4, it's going to be really tough for you to get back on your feet and make a run because you cannot afford. If you lose any of these games, you cannot afford to lose to the Giants. If you want to win the NFC East, you need to beat the Giants. Period. Yes, they've gotten Harbaugh, they've got Isaiah Likely, they brought in good coaches, but I think this is going to be another good game. I believe we can pull it out just due to the fact that I think we have the better roster on paper and their defense on paper is better than ours because of what it transpired last year. So on paper, New York's defense is better than ours, but on paper, I believe we have the better roster and the better quarterback. So if we are able to at least put up 21 points, I think we'll be able to beat New York. Because Jackson Dart needs to show me he can be a good, consistent quarterback in this 2026 NFL season. He's shown that he's been okay, but I have not seen, oh, this dude's impressive. I haven't seen that from Jackson Dart yet. We know that he can run the football. They've got Cam Scatterboo, who's a tough runner in the backfield. This is going to be a good game, but I believe we can pull this out. So these first 5 weeks. So I'm saying 5-2. You need to at least be in 5-2. And then you got a quick turnaround, 8 days, so you don't play you don't play the next Sunday, but you're playing on that Monday, which is going to be a tough game for us because we tend to not play well in short weeks, but I believe that'll change this season. if we are able to have a correct scheme on offense and be able to get again. Notice what I'm saying. Pressure and getting turnovers is what is going to win us games. If you cannot get pressure on any quarterback in this season, you are not going to win any games. With the amount of money we spend on this defensive line, you have to be able to get after the quarterback. Odafe Owe, we're paying 96 million to. He is our highest paid pass rusher. He needs to be able to win one on ones. Everyone on that defensive line is capable of winning one on ones. If you give them the opportunity to, I think we can dominate the trenches. That's what Adam Peters said built in this offseason on defense. Okay, we've been getting ran on. We've been getting toted on. We've been getting hammered in the passing game. Okay, I'm going to start with the trenches. Let's go defensive line first. Let's go cornerback. Let's go. Let's go Nick Cross at safety. Let's go get guys that are aggressive and that can force turnovers this year. Because if you are able to get pressure on any of these quarterbacks that I mentioned, you're going to throw them off their spot and you are going to be able to win games. And offense needs to be able to execute a nice game plan from David Blau, whether you're going play action, whether that's running the ball, throwing it, you need to be able to have a cohesive plan to win games. Watch the film, break it down. If you made a mistake, okay, I can correct this. Okay, I see what I did wrong. Take that information into the next game and say, hey, this is what we need to be doing in order for us to win. Finding that quarterback's weakness or what he is not able to do. So we shall see. Week 8 versus Philadelphia on Sunday Night Football at home. If we're going to beat the Eagles, we need to do it at home. Even though we do struggle at home, we struggle at home. Believe it or not, we have a worse record at home than on the road. Believe it or not. But again, like I said, same game plan as week 1. Get pressure on Hurts, stop the running game, make Hurts beat you. You have to make Jalen Hurts beat you. Jalen Hurts, yes, at times he's been able to take the load, he's been able to come through. But can Jalen Hurts beat you solely by himself? Can he be that consistent quarterback that can beat you solely by himself? And with this zone, you're going to be able to confuse Hurts. Again, Hurts was one of the main ones that struggled against the Vikings defense as well. Because you're going to be able to disguise zone. You're going to be able to make a zone coverage look like man coverage. You're going to be able to make a man coverage look like zone coverage. So, and you don't know who is going to be where in one at any time. Because Nick Cross can be at corner one play. You can have Kayvon Chase on dropping into coverage one play. You can have Joshua Joseph's our rookie we just drafted dropping into coverage one play. You need to be able to be versatile in this Durante Jones led defense. You have to be. It is not an option. Rams at home. So they just traded for Aaron Donald, as we saw a couple months ago. However, if Laramie Tunsil, the guy he tends to struggle against, can hold his own against Aaron Donald, and we are able to be able to control or neutralize this defensive line and pick them apart on offense, being able to run the ball effectively, throwing it effectively, get Terry involved, get Chiga Conco involved, get Antonio Williams involved, spreading the ball around to all the guys. And once again, you need to get turnovers and pressure. You're noticing a common theme. Defensive pressure and turnovers is what this defense is going to be able to do this season. And I think we will be able to win a lot of these games. If you are going to win more than 10 games, you need to be able to dominate within the trenches. You need to. There is not a if and or but. You need to be able to dominate the trenches. Look at the Eagles in 2024. What did they build? They built a team that can dominate in the trenches. It's that simple. You need to be able to dominate the trenches. Jaden's protected. We have a chance. If five is healthy, we have a chance to win games. We're not going to win every game, but when five is healthy and his defense is clicking, I think we're going to be a hard team to stop if we can get it going in this season. And I believe if we can at least get chemistry and this defense to be a cohesive unit, I think it starts week 8 because that's where teams start to gel. That's where teams start to adjust, and then that's when we will be able to say, "Hey, okay, they adjusted to this adjustment, so now we're going to counter that with this adjustment." One thing Joe Witt and Cliff Kingsbury failed to do last year was adjust to the adjustment of the defense. They knew what we were doing every play, and that's why we either got gashed in the running game or we got dominated in the passing game. Week 10 versus the Giants, obvious, same thing. Being able to mix the playbooks and offense, being able to run the ball, being able to pass the ball effectively, but we need a heavy play action as well. Because with Jaden having his back to the defense, you don't know whether he's going to be able to whether he's going to keep it or whether he's going to pass the ball. We have to be able to have an effective running and passing game on offense. And defensively, like I said, common theme again, getting pressure on the quarterback and forcing turnover. We need to be able to do that to win games. You're noticing a common theme every time on defense. Pressure, turnovers, having guys in the right spots, being able to manipulate the defense. You're noticing common theme throughout this schedule. Cincinnati Bengals, again, notice a consistent theme. Pressure and turnovers off of Joe Burrow. Yes, Jamar Chase, one of the best receivers in the NFL, had over 1,300 yards again this season. This man is going to be tough to stop, but if we can hold our own, and again, we don't have, not saying we're going to win, but we need to be able to hold our own against Jamar Chase. Well, yes. This is a tough task. I understand it. Jamar Chase can have 5 catches for 235 yards and 2 touchdowns on us. As long as we do not allow that offense to get going like they should, I believe if it's a close game, I believe if we have the ball with like 2 minutes left and Jaden has the ball, I believe Jaden can lead us. I think he can lead us to that game-winning drive. We've seen it. His poise and his calm under pressure is astounding. That calm and poise he has, oh my goodness. He didn't move like a rookie like that in 2024. Every time you saw this man under pressure or in a tight situation, the man was always calm. He was always sitting on the bench like, I got no worries. I know what I'm capable of. We know what he is capable of when he is fully healthy and fully capable of doing when he has a healthy squad and when he's healthy. Because we saw it. Jaden can do more with a lot less around him. So if we can get this Bengals game, that is going to be another huge game for us. Yes, they struggle. But if we can slow down Joe Burrow in this offense and make them and force him to make a decision that he doesn't want to make, I believe we can win this game. Cardinals, yes, they have Jeremiah Love, but who is their quarterback? Jacoby Brissett? Cardinals have I don't really have much to say. They're not very talented. Yes, they have Jeremiah Love, but I'm worried about that offensive line. If dude, our defensive line is going to I think is going to absolutely dominate them because they don't have much talent to speak of. Marvin Harrison Jr. is good, but if he has a breakout year, congratulations. Good job. Awesome. If Marvin Harrison has that breakout, I can see him requesting a trade because the Cardinals they I don't have much to say about them. They're not that great of a team. They didn't make many moves to help their team win. I don't know. So we'll see what happens there, but I think we can win that game easily. Titans. Now this one could be an interesting one because Cam Ward is actually a good quarterback. We've seen him. We've seen him play. He's a good quarterback. They have Carnell Tate now. They gave him a weapon. So, and I think Cardinal Tate's going to have a good year this year if you allow him to. You need to be able to target him. And that defense it's been what, top 10 the last few years. So, if that defense can start making plays and getting turnovers, and that offense can actually start to click and they have a consistent, good game plan, I think the Titans are going to be a decent team this year. So I'm not gonna rule this one a win yet. So I'm gonna say we shall see. But if we can do what I explained as all the other teams, get pressure, being able to manipulate the defense, getting turnovers, we're gonna be able to win a lot of these football games that are close. Texans, that's gonna be a tough game. Their defense has always been one of the best in the league. They were number 2 last year, I believe, because their defense is tenacious. They can get turnovers. They are fast and they are reckless. This defense is going to be a problem for us. But if Jaden can be protected, we have a consistent running game. We continue to manipulate the defense with the same looks and different plays out of it. I believe this defense and this offense can win us the game. CJ Stroud has not been looking good the past few years, but if he can stop getting in his own head and just make the plays he needs to make, we're going to have a tough time with this Texans team because they have talent. They have all of the talent around CJ Stroud. Yet their O line is not great, but it is better than what they had. But their defense is going to be the problem in this game. Week 15 versus Atlanta, we lost to them last year when Bobby Wagner was in coverage on Bijan Robinson. But we ain't gonna talk about that now. But if we can be able again getting pressure on Tua, forcing him to make throws that he doesn't want to make, I believe we can win this game. Just again, force turnovers. Consistent theme again, pressure, turnovers, manipulating the defense, running the ball. Again, being able to be a cohesive unit and then keeping that energy from here on out. And I believe we'll be able to be off and running. Week 16 versus the Vikings. Kyler Murray. This is the team wait. Did we play the Vikings last year? See that game didn't it didn't cross my mind because last time I checked we didn't show up. We didn't show up last year. So, but if we can do the things unlike Cliff Kingsbury did last year, which is actually score touchdowns and being able to make your extra points, we'll be able to win this game because we know what defense they're going to be running because we're going against that defense every day in practice. They're going to say, okay, I've seen this look before. I know the answers to this test. So they give me this look. Okay, Let's go to this look. Okay, they have this look. Okay, let me go to this look. You're going to be able to have answers to the test because you've played this defense every day in practice. You're going to be used to this defense every day in practice. Nothing they do is going to shock us. Nothing they do is going to surprise them. All you got to do is have answers to the test. We know what they're going to run. Just be able to have answers to the test, unlike Cliff Kingsbury. Week 17 at Jacksonville. I think this is going to be another tough game because that offense is good. Their defense is very good as well. But like I said, consistent theme: pressure, turnovers. We can win games. We can win that game. We get pressure and turnovers, we'll be able to win. Simple. And last but not least, you have the Dallas Cowboys again. Same game plan as week one. Get pressure on Dak because he does struggle with his defense. Dak Prescott does struggle with his defense. So he had struggled with it last year. You get pressure on Dak Prescott, you force him to make a mistake, you're going to be able to win games. And then your offense has to be able to, once again, adjust to the adjustment. Because Dallas has seen this the first time. Okay, they're going to be like, okay, cool. We've seen this offense the first time. But Blau has to be able to adjust to the adjustment. And yes, these first few weeks of the season, yes, David Blau is going to have a hard time. You're going to ask him, okay, what was that? What was this? But once he gets his stride, I believe he will be able to be a consistent and good play caller in this 2026 NFL season. So with my record prediction in this 2026 NFL season, my Washington Commanders will go 11-6 this season with wins against the Eagles in Philly. I'm going to be bold and say a win against Dallas in Dallas. I'm going to say a loss at Seattle, so you're 2-1 now. I'm going to say the Colts, that's a win, so you're 4-1. New York, I'm going to say that's a win, so you're going to go 5-1. San Francisco 49ers, I think that's going to be another loss, so I'm going to say 5-2 now. Let's see, week 8. I think we can sweep Philly, but so that's 6-2. Rams, I think that's a loss. 6-3. Giants, that's a win. So 7-3. Bengals, see that's a win. So that's 8-3. Cardinals. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna go with a loss. 8-4. 8-4. No, 8-3. I'm sorry, 8-3. What am I talking about? Cardinals, that's a win. 9-4. Titans, that's a win. 10-4. No, 10-3. Texans, that's a loss. 10-4. Falcons, that's a win. 11-5. Vikings loss. No, that's 11-4. Vikings loss. 11-5. Jacksonville loss. Well, no, I'm sorry. 10-5. Jacksonville. What am I saying? Hold on. What am I doing? Okay, hold on. Let me recount this. What am I doing? Okay. Let's get my math right. Week 1, win. That's 1-0. Week 2, win. That's 2-0. Week 3, loss. That's 2-1. Week 4, win. That's 3-1. Week 5, win. That's 4-1. Week 6, loss. That's 4-2. Week 8, win. That's 5-2. Week 9, loss. That's 5-3. Week 10, win. That's 6-3. Week 11, loss. That's 6-4. Win. 7-4. Titans, win. 8-4. Texans, loss. 8-5. Falcons, win. 9-5. Vikings, loss. 9-6. I'm gonna turn this to a win. So 10-6, and then Dallas win 11-6. That's my record prediction. So I believe that will do it for this episode of Small Talk. And I'll see y'all next Wednesday. And as always, hail to the Commanders. Peace.